Good morning. It is Monday for you probably, and for me it is Saturday morning here in the office. And we're trying to do our Athens market update a little ahead of time and get it out to you Monday. It's getting a little loud here on Village. There's obviously going to be an event here today at one of these fraternity or sorority houses. They're starting to hear some music pile up. But we got 3 months of 2022 to report to you on the Athens and Oconee home market for residential home sales. And one of the big topics we're going to talk about is when will there be more homes for sale. And that's one of the things we're going to talk about and delve into here as I get started on our April month market update. Let me move my head a little bit here. And as you know, we like to look back at the compare months over year to year and the last 3 years. So right here, we're starting off, we look at 2020, 2021. Those numbers in 2020 represent actually pre-pandemic. As you know, it was the end of March that this really got started for most of us. And you see that there's 711 listings in the first 3 months of the year. Average sold price is much further down at 278. And what's actually kind of nice there is those 2 years were not that drastically different. But let's come in here and let's add 2022 to the fold. So this is where we're seeing the big differences, folks. If you look at 2022, it is down 13% in overall listings to market from 2021, and that would be drastically more when we compare it to the 2020 numbers. The under contracts, this number skews a little bit. It's down a little over 20%. The reason it skews a lot is some of these properties are going into our MLS as sold. So you don't technically see a under contract or pending. So that's a little bit of a skew number. But then the sold price, this is the one that we keep seeing. In some regards, it's good for homeowners, and in some regards, it's just kind of getting to be an old story. We're up to an average sold price first 3 months of this year to almost $400,000 in Athens, Clarke, and Oconee. That's up 21.5% over last year. And then this is the number I really don't like either. It's the amount of overall activity. Everybody talks about how great the market is, but look at this. We're down we're over 17% down on total home sales from 479 to 397. So overall, there's a lot less activity happening because of the lack of supply versus our current demand. Now, let's look at the month of March. And this is where the news is a little better. This is where it's a little better. You've got the first 2 years that we look back at 51 listings in 2020, pre-pandemic, right? 255 in 2021 as our market was kind of surging back a little bit. And as you can see, the total homes sold in that month of March was pretty similar to other years. Let's see what happened in 2022. And this is where there's the good news to me. In the month of March, we had 236 listings come to market. And that, while it was still 7.5% down 2021, that's much closer. We're not talking in these 17, 18, 20, 25% differences right now. And that's the good number, that our listings are doing better. But the bad number, again, is our sold price continues to surge over the month of March. It's up 27%, 435,000. And then the total homes sold is down almost 21%. This is where things are different. And there's just not as many transactions so far this year as you might see. And regardless of the lack of supply, pricing still matters. I can tell you from personal experience and seeing things on the market. If you price it incorrectly, you're not going to sell it. You're going to have to, the market will tell you. So while prices are going up, we need to get the pricing right. And then this is looking at housing market activity by graph. And it kind of just visually shows you. I want to end on some graphs here. Did a little new color scheme, kind of more in keeping with what we have. It's, there it is, soon to be Masters Week, so I wore my Masters shirt. But 2020, this was the activity of red representing new listings and the lighter shade of gray representing under contract and the darker shade homes sold. What's good here is while you can see overall we are down, the 2022 stack of three bars obviously looks less than the other two. It's not killing us that it's that less. But here's where some good news is going to start to come in. We'll go back to housing market activity, new listings month by month. And this is where it's good. Because let's see where we started the year. The red line represents 2022, the green line 2021, and the blue line up there is that 2020 that we're so envious of pre-COVID. Now, you see the listings to market was pretty steady over 200 the first 3 months of the year in 2020. 2021, we started way behind, took a big dip down in February, but then we did surge back up as we hit March. Now, the worst thing about 2022 that's been so much different is look at this red line. relative to both the past years, the new listings to market was drastically below 2020 and then 2021. We caught up in February. We got square with February. And thankfully, we kept surging. The red line is what I like to see. That's where the good news is for me. We're now just barely into April. I can see it and feel it in the MLS. There are more listings coming to market. And frankly, folks, we're having people talk about the housing bubble. How is this going to slow down? Is it going to crash? If you read our last update, reviewed it, you know that a lot of the metrics don't say that. But one thing that can help us out here to calm down some of this appreciation is if people are feeling nervous, then that might just slow it down. And that's what we need. We've talked about deceleration. So we're not talking about things going the wrong way. We're just talking about instead of these increases of 15, 20% clips so quickly, we might start seeing 5, 6, 7, 8% appreciation. That would be much welcome and would probably give everybody a little less heartburn over how fast and aggressive this market's moving. I do want to mention one thing to you that it is April, and if you're a resident in Clarke County, your primary home resident, try to pay attention to your property taxes. As you know, we've seen these historical gains. There will probably be announcements soon of over the spring and summer about the Clarke County budget. I would encourage you to reach out to your local city councilman and just express your concern because a lot of times these home prices continue to raise the property taxes. And while that may not be a big deal for some homeowners, it can start to really impact your monthly payment. And just let your local officials know whether you have an opinion on it or not. And lastly, we got an updated photo, so I thought I'd share it. We wanted you to, reach out to anybody here at Five Market Realty. We, always evolving, and we had such an old photo. It's time to get it updated. But if you've got questions about the market, need just some advice, or looking to do anything like buy or sell, reach out, info@5mrealty.com, or you can contact it as our number. We've got a group of agents. Any one of them are ready to help you. It's Masters Week in Georgia. The azaleas are blooming. Should be hopefully a good weather week. And then we're going to have G-Day coming up in the month of April. Looking forward. We're going to have a company tailgate here on our front lawn and encourage clients and friends to stop by and come see us. Have a great April and let us know if we can help you.